We'll call this meeting to order at 12:39. And item 2, we'll start with the territorial acknowledgement. So we respectfully acknowledge that the SFSS is located on the traditional unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples. This includes the Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, Coquitlam, and Métis nations. Unceded means that these territories have never been handed over, sold, or given up by these nations, and we are currently situated on occupied territories. I also want to acknowledge the work that we're able to do as a committee, and also stand in solidarity with Indigenous folks, and also recognize that even for us, we understand like the place names. And during the soft opening, I actually just kind of want to start out by saying that last week during the soft opening, we were able to invite host nations up. So we invited Elder Margaret and also Shane Point from Musqueam and Tsleil-Waututh to come and open the building on the first day, which was really nice because we were able to, do that form of reconciliation by ensuring that we're prioritizing Indigenous voices and Indigenous people. And I feel like that's where the work starts, especially in our roles. So to make sure we're doing that in a good way, that's just something that I wanted to share with folks, so that the work that we're doing can come in all different kinds of forms, whether it's doing territorial acknowledgements or building those community relationships. So, all right. So we will go through the roll call of attendance, and we'll start with myself. My name is Matthew Provost. My pronouns are he, him, his. And as of right now, my accessibility needs are met. And I will go through with who is here. So we'll start with environment counselor.
Hi, my name is Chloe. My pronouns are she, her. And for accessibility needs, as Matt mentioned before, I just need to leave at 1:30. Thanks.
And we will go on to communications counselor.
Hello everyone, my name is Ashwin Barosha. My pronouns are he, him, his, and all my accessibility needs are met.
Thank you. I will go with student at large. Chi.
Hello everyone, my name is Chi. Pronouns are her, she, her, hers. I believe that all my accesses have been met. Yeah, thank you.
All right, perfect. We will go, and if anyone pops in, then we'll get them to do their little spiel. And also we will go on to our society staff. It looks like our policy research and community affairs coordinator.
Hi everyone, my name is Bailey, pronouns she, her, hers. Access needs are met. Nice to meet you all again.
Thank you for coming today. And also our administrative assistant.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Efra. My pronouns are she, her. All my access needs are met. Thank you.
Perfect. It's really nice to see everybody today. We'll move on to item 4, which is the consent agenda. So be it resolved to adopt the consent agenda by unanimous consent. And what is under the consent agenda is just the meeting minutes from our last meeting. So be it resolved to receive and file the following minutes. So can I get, or I guess we're passing it by unanimous consent. So please raise your hand with the Zoom feature if you dissent or abstain. All right, and that passes unanimously. All right, we will go to item 5, which is the adoption of the agenda. So be it resolved to adopt the agenda as presented. Can I get a mover? All right, Ashran moves. Can I get a seconder, please?
Chloe.
Chloe seconds. All right. We'll go into discussion on this item, then we'll move into a vote. So I want to pose 2 amendments. So one, I want to include, I want to amend the agenda to include an in-camera session after the adoption of the agenda with the item titled VP External Updates. As well, I want to amend the agenda to include the discussion item titled Fall 2021 External and Community Affairs Meeting Time. So we will move into a vote. And is there anything else that folks want to add to the agenda today? All right, so can I get, all right, we'll move into a vote. So please raise your hand with the Zoom function if you dissent or abstain from the following items that will be included. All right, thank you. That those amendments are carried as amended. All right, so now this will be, okay, so we're going into an in-camera session, and this will be item 6, and then discussion items will be item 7, and so forth. So we're moving into an in-camera session. So I'm going to pause. Oh, sorry. So if we're moving into an in-camera session, can I have a mover to move into in-camera?
Ashram.
Okay. Can I have a seconder?
Chi.
Okay, and she seconds. All right, cool. These are just for my own notes. All right, so, and we'll move into a vote. So we'll move in camera. If you absent or abstain, please use the raise hand feature. All right, thank you. All right, I will pause this recording. Okay, so we are X camera. Can I get a mover to go X camera?
Ashram.
Okay. And can I get a seconder?
Chi.
All right, thank you. All right, so we will go on to item 7, which is our discussion items. And so the first one is item 7.1 now, and that is the federal elections working session. So I'm hoping that we can allocate a little bit of time to kind of go through and answer some of the stuff that we want to do, or maybe brainstorm some stuff, because we have up until the 20th. And there has been a little bit more information on my end that in regards to the elections, as we know, there's no polling stations on campus, which is a big problem. I've also been notified that even in residence, like for mail-in ballots, students are having a hard time getting their mail-in ballots on residence, just because Elections Canada doesn't recognize the address, which is pretty problematic. So students are having, so that's around 1,000 students on res who are eligible to vote who can't vote, and then also the polling stations on campus, those are inaccessible. And so I think it would be good to talk about what we can do and what we're able to do. I want to update folks. Our application, as you know, has been approved. Our comms material is currently being circulated. I just messaged our comms coordinator, Ilham, and all the posts have been scheduled, and there'll be a tweet outgoing today at 2, and then we have all the rest of the comms material that will be posted up until the 17th. So on that part, we're good in terms of social media and online content. I was just wondering folks' capacity, and also wondering, can I ask who's going to be on campus this semester?
I'll
Chi,
be
are
on
you gonna-
campus this semester.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing that I wanted to ask is folks' comfortability being on campus for tabling in the next, I don't know, week or two. I know it's the 7th, so if we can schedule a day maybe in the morning in the sub, then we can get a table figured out and have some content and stuff posted, so that we can kind of either give information to students about voting, information about candidates that are in our area, and kind of having platforms out for folks to read over, and just kind of answering questions and just encouraging students to vote. Ashan?
So yes, can we create like a jot form or something, because like so that we can check our availability and then we can like figure out when we can go there. Like I'm pretty much on campus every day, but like I have morning classes, and on Mondays I'm actually in Vancouver, not in Burnaby. So like yeah, maybe we could do that, figure something out.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would be good. I think we can have separate like days too, preferably like how I like to do tabling. I always want like a minimum of 2 people at a table, just one for safety, two, just like it helps if like there's a bunch of people showing up and then you need to talk to a bunch of folks. But I wanted to gauge people's like, I know because of COVID and there's like a lot of students and people might have lots of questions, people coming up to you. And in the sub, like masks are mandated, so that's a good thing. So people have to wear masks while they're in there. But that's kind of what I wanted to run by folks. Would people be okay doing tabling? And if folks aren't, that's okay too.
I'm comfortable with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay, so I guess next steps for that. What I would ideally like to do too is maybe we can do, I can get our comms department to also get some poster like materials, and I would ideally like to go up in poster. So one thing, what I can link the comms material that we already have so folks can look at it. It's going to be posted as well. But what I wanted to do, I think would be really like accessible and also interesting is to have a poster and we can go around campus and get all the boards on the Burnaby campus. And Ashon, if you're at Vancouver, maybe you can ask to put some up there. We can have like some federal elections like information and get like a QR code so that when students scan it, it goes directly for them to register to vote if they want mail-in ballot or information for the elections itself in terms of candidates.
I really like that idea.
Yeah, and we can have that up at our table too. So if folks want to register to vote right there, then we can have like a little QR code posted like on our table so they can just go through all that information. I think it would be good to set a date to go postering. It might be better to go on a weekend because I can go up on weekends or even during the week if folks have time and we can just go check the posters and put them up. So we can figure out schedules for that as well. And I'm available, I'll be up this week, but they'll probably give a couple days for our content to be developed and then we can set them up there. Does anyone else have any ideas for what we could do?
Can we also do it on Res as well? Like we can send someone on Res, and also like the Surrey campus. I'm not sure if anyone's here from this committee, like who can be in the Surrey campus, but we should not leave that out as well because there's a lot of students in the Surrey campus.
Yeah, that's what I was like hoping. Like if you were comfortable, if you wanted to table at Vancouver,
I can do that.
Yeah,
sure.
and we can set up, we can figure out how to get a table at Vancouver and see like times or whatnot, even if you wanted to be there for like an hour before your class or an hour after your class or something like that. Or yeah.
I actually have like class all day from 8:30 till 8:30 p.m. but I can like figure something out. Worst case, I can go another day on campus in Vancouver and then I can do it as well. Like that works for me.
Yeah, or even if you just drop off like the posters or put them up there. Like I think for Vancouver, you would have to talk to security because they have a specific bulletin where they post it and just drop off a poster. Because SFSS does have like a small area there. I'm not too sure about the specifics of that because I haven't been to Vancouver campus in a long time. But when we have the posters, if you want to bring some up, then you can put some up in through security and they'll put them up for you. And it's in Surrey, like I'm able to go to Surrey, where the main like mezzanine is, like in that area, and I can set up something through like a table, and if folks want to come chill there for like an afternoon, then I can go out that way as well.
Sure, sounds great.
All right, so I'll figure out a schedule for that, and then when we have some days, we can just mark it in our schedule, and you don't have to be there the whole time, even if it's just there for a little bit, like just to let folks know what's going on. Just, we're running this campaign through ECA committee. We just want to get students engaged like with the federal elections. Another thing is for this, we're also thinking about releasing a press release for is this something that we all want to collectively work on to kind of, I guess, discuss the issues and barriers by not having polling stations on campus, because this is a big thing. Because what I've heard from like Elections Canada, this is what Gabe has updated me on as well, as saying that, you know, they're not having polling stations like due to COVID, and it's like, but they're still having polling stations like off campus, and there's other things happening where, you know, it just doesn't sound like they're trying to prioritize, like, you know, students' votes, or making it more accessible, because the whole reason why students vote on campus, or that they are reminded that elections are going on, is because of like the polling stations, and this is happening like across the province, which I feel like is not fair. So if there's something that we want to kind of write like a press release on, that we can speak on like as a committee, and then also like with Gabe, we can all collectively write up something so that we could send it out if folks have questions, or our, I guess, opinion by not having polling stations on campus, and how that's impacting students' voices in regards to elections. Okay. So, and we can have this because it's the 7th. So I'm thinking by, would it be okay to have something work like kind of finalized roughly around Monday? So that gives us the rest of the week to kind of hash something out over the weekend, review it, and then we have something ready for Monday, and then we can get it reviewed through like Gabe, and then ask some folks before we like release it out to media and whatnot. Okay. And I'll also check in with FISA to see how they want to support as well. Okay, so is there any other ideas or discussions for the federal elections campaign, or even anything related to this as well for the next couple weeks? I'm just writing out like some action items for this. Okay. Okay. All right, well, if there's no further discussion on that, we can move on to our next discussion item, which is now 7.2, and it's fall 2021 External and Community Affairs meeting time for the fall semester. So I have the link for the when to meet already here, and I think it's just good if we sit down and fill it out to the best of our ability right now for the fall. So if you want to take a couple minutes and do that, then it'll be done. Okay, so this also might change when we're going to be having more at large. So it's just like where the majority is able to attend, like that's what we'll try to do. And if you can or can't make it, just remember just to send your regrets, or there's nothing that like I can really do. It just like I don't want folks to like lose their position like on this committee because they forgot to like submit regrets, or just even if you're unsure, like then you can just let folks know that you're going to be late, and just know that the meetings will be recorded, and even after you, if you miss anything, feel free to just email me or other folks like on the committee or our committee email as well, and then we can receive updates, and just make sure to read through the minutes. And because I know that folks, if you're not able to attend the meeting, like you might still be working on projects or things related to the committee as well. Just keep folks updated if you're working with everybody. And like same thing too, like if you're not able to show up to a meeting but you want a table, like that's all right too. So you might be able to show up for a tabling day, you might not be able to show up for the meeting. I'll try to keep everybody posted. I also want to suggest, I know that sometimes email is a little bit slow. Would it be okay to strictly for, and I know sometimes does everybody check Discord? I'm really bad at checking Discord. So like, okay. Just for the purpose of like meeting times and like Zoom links, if folks don't have them, would it be okay to make like a messenger group just to send like the link if folks can do that? So I can set that up, just to have like a messenger group just to send links and reminders for that day. Cause I know sometimes that's like the best option. And I know I try to keep Facebook separate from work, but sometimes that doesn't happen. So I can make that group, and then and I probably have that done by like next week, because it might just help coordinating with tabling and stuff like that too. If folks need to connect, like saying like, oh, like it's here, or just giving updates if people want to go poster and things like that. So that might just be like a good point of contact for us to have for the fall. And like I said, I'll give folks my cell number. I can put it in that group chat after. Is there any questions or anything? Yes.
I just want to say something. For example, if you all decide to like, meet on Monday, as I said, like, I'll be in Vancouver and I have a class from 8:30 a.m. till 8:30 p.m. And what if I can't make it for the semester? That'll be a little hard for me. I'm just saying, like, what if like, we decide on Monday, then what can we do about that? Like you said, I can do the work on projects and like help you with the tables and everything. So that should be okay, right? Hopefully. Or like it's mandatory for me like to be at the meeting if I can. So it'll be a little hard for me.
Well, what we can do too, and we can see if this works, is to have alternating meeting days.
Okay, yeah, sure.
That might be helpful. Like we can have a set meeting day, but if we need to, then we can switch it to something else, like maybe later in the week or something. That might be helpful. Like for this month, we might meet this day, but then for the next month, we might meet on like another day. I know that kind of sounds like messy, but just so that if some folks can meet this day, but they can make a different meeting, like we can try something out like that. So just post like your availability. This will be what I'll be checking for around the most of the semester. So try keep this link. And if you can, like update it if stuff changes, like if you know that, if you start a part-time job or you're like an RA, or like your class, you have an exam on this day, like, just like try to keep that like updated, and then that's what I'll be checking. So if I need to schedule like, a tabling day, like I'm going to look at this availability to say, okay, well, this day looks like most folks are free. A minimum of 2 people can go table this day. So I think maybe this might be good, like for now, for the next month to look at for tabling as well. Would that be okay? Because everyone's most updated availability. Okay, so I could just book some days for that for a minimum of a few folks so that we can get some of the tabling and campaign stuff. Other than that, like I think that should be okay. But yeah, folks are okay with trying alternating days for meetings. I think that might be good, just so we have everybody here, because I know some days it's a little bit more difficult if something comes up. So we can figure that out too and see how that works. But yeah. I will keep folks posted though, via email for now, and then hopefully make just like a messenger group. But we can go through, I'll get the comms material updated for posters for next week and tabling, and I'll also get our QR codes for the federal election stuff. I'll create the schedule and then send it. And if folks approve, then just go through that day. Or I can make like a doc and just send in like what time slots you're available and just make sure you're signed up with another person. That's my only, and we don't have to do it like every day. It'd be like once a week or something like that, or folks capacity wise. And then, yeah, and I'll make a schedule for like Burnaby and Vancouver and Surrey, and don't feel too bad if like, you know, one has less people or one has more people. Like it's just based off of our capacities and what our availability is, because there's only a handful of us to do this. But I think it'll be fine. We can even ask Gabe to come, so that'd be all right. And then I will send out more details for the press release, and I'll get Gabe on this, and I'll send an email follow up for all of this stuff. And then moving forward, hopefully have something prepped by Monday, so we can just get it out. Because I think it's more relevant now that the elections are a little bit closer. More students are coming back to school, so they might be more interested in like knowing like what's going on. And I'm gonna see if I can create like an information like handout just for like speaking point to students are asking, like, you know, why is it important? Like if I'm voting, like why are the, like I didn't even know the federal elections are like happening. So things like that. I think we can just go through all that information. So I'll try to get all that prepped, and then I'll send it via email. I'll also add it in the drive for resources and stuff like that, so we all have it. Other than that, that's kind of all that I had for today, unless folks have questions. Yep.
And can you also like guide us with one thing? I know students will be asking us this question, like which party do you vote for and how do we respond to that? Because we're trying to stay neutral here as a non-profit organization. So if you can like give us some thoughts about that, that'd be great.
Yeah, what I'm hoping to have is a candidate list and platforms, and be like, you know, like we're nonpartisan, and we can just provide you information on to make like, you know, a very informed vote. That's all that we can do. Other than that, it's kind of up to you and how you want to vote. All we really want to do is make sure that students are registered and that you have all the information you need to vote, and that's all that we can really do. So yeah, I think, yeah, we can go over that too, like just having like, what if someone asks me this question, how do I respond to it, and kind of go over that maybe before like a tabling session. We take like a couple minutes to prep and go over some of those questions, and I'll have like my laptop and stuff, so we'll have like some of those docs and things open, and we'll have like some printed things out. So I think it'll be pretty good. And yeah, we'll make sure to go over some of those questions. I'll create a doc, and if anyone else has like those questions, feel free to add it, and then we can just kind of write down some like responses for things of how we answer that.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if we had like a reference sheet or something, so that if like someone tells us exactly where they live, like we could see like, oh, these are your candidates, so like you might want to look into them, because like it's probably like unrealistic for us to be knowledgeable of like every single candidate and every single riding. So
I've also been thinking about trying to like make like kind of like a polling station like map, like where folks, like if they're registered somewhere, like where can they go vote. So I'll work with Ilham on that, so maybe we can just have like a printout, or even like, yeah, like a PDF or something, just of like where they can go vote. And I think all of our resources, I think as of right now, are in different languages. So I'll try to have some of those on hand as well, make sure that those are prepped, just so if there's any like language barriers, that we'll be able to kind of just give folks like the proper information for that. So I'll make sure to, if we have those, then I'll have them updated and created, and we'll have those all ready and prepped for the day of tabling. Cool. All right. All right, we'll move on. Is there any more questions or anything like that? Okay, cool. We'll move on to item 8, which is adjournment. So be it resolved to adjourn the meeting at 1:15. Can I have a mover? Ashron moves. Can I have a seconder?
Chloe.
Chloe seconds. All right, we'll move into a vote. Please raise your hand if you dissent or abstain. All right, and that's carried unanimously. All right, the meeting is adjourned, so I'm gonna stop this recording.